Be a part of the best pro wrestling podcast today at patreon.com/Steve and Larson. Enjoy tons of bonus videos, including patron-only live shows, gameplay, and vintage 10 for the wins, access to podcast question threads, the Friendo Care Package, and so much more. Support Going In Raw today at patreon.com/Steve and Larson.
Oh, Steve and Larson! Don't you dare be sour. Clap for yourselves and feel the power. Yes. And all you people out there, you're watching Going In Raw with Steve and Larson.
Hey, friendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
And welcome back to Going In Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast you need to be listening to right here at youtube.com/Steve and Larson, available wherever podcasts can be found, and of course, taped live right here in front of a studio audience at twitch.tv/Steve and Larson. We had a Smackdown tonight because it's Friday. So we're going to talk about that.
That's right.
And we're going to talk about, Larson, my powers of seeing into the future. Where last week I said, Larson, is it possible that in this triple brand royal battle royal, Asuka will emerge victorious and will go on to SummerSlam to take both the titles off Sasha and Bayley?
I believe I said at the time that's entirely possible because it was entirely possible. And sure enough, that's what happened.
Don't you bandwagon my Nostradamusing skills.
No, I watched the video that you posted. That's like a direct quote. That is a direct quote.
Don't yell at me.
Well, don't accuse me of hopping on a bandwagon when I'm directly quoting the video that you posted. Don't accuse me of something I'm not doing.
Okay.
Don't appreciate it.
All right. In your future, I feel like you're going to calm down right now. What are the odds? Hey, what are the odds?
Your predictive powers suck.
They suck. What are the odds that Asuka's going to take both these titles at SummerSlam, man?
High.
Right? They got to be high, right? She got to do it all, right?
They find a way to do a tag. Oh, sorry. Didn't they say during the show that Payback, Sasha and Bayley are going to defend the tag titles?
Okay.
Yeah, they're going to lose those to Asuka too.
Wait a second. Why did Sasha say that as if we're supposed to have heard that already? Because she said, and it was such a throwaway thing. She was like, and then we just found out that we got to defend these tag titles at Payback the next week. And I was like, and I started searching internet like, when was that? I'm supposed to be like internet, like a wrestling guy, and I don't know about this stuff. So I'm glad
I don't think anybody knew about it.
Well.
I mean, honestly, I did. I read about that on Twitter because that the after the first match, Big E and John Morrison, and up until Sasha and Bayley were introducing participants to the Battle Royal, my stream cut out. I missed all of that.
Wow.
So there's that bit with Corbin and Sheamus and Big E and stuff.
You didn't miss any. Hey, you didn't miss anything. You didn't miss anything.
I missed it all, though. I missed it all. That's the point. I missed it all.
So, yeah, dude, I'm really excited about this. It does really feel like Bruce and Vince have really seen the light when it comes to Asuka. We've both been celebrating her for years now. It's nice to see that they are as well. Maybe that will eventually propel the story into Sasha and Bayley going one-on-one. At this point, I don't care. I think that they're great. If they don't break up anytime soon, I'll be happy with that. I really want to see Asuka come out of SummerSlam with both titles. I think that'd be terrific. And you know who I would love to see challenge her for that title on SmackDown after she wins the SmackDown title? Nikki Cross, because I want to see a sequel to that last woman standing match that was
you never saw.
Just so terrific. That was so great.
Never saw it though. Not that Nakamura and Kota Ibushi at Wrestle Kingdom. It's great matches you haven't seen.
Wow, you're just so mean to me tonight.
You accused me of something I didn't do, so what happens? So far, your predictive powers are not coming to fruition with this whole I'm going to be calm.
Okay, I'm getting a new predictive power right now, and you're just going to be rude to me the rest of the night. No. Yeah, I'll be honest, man.
That's the safest bet you can make, though.
It really is. I really enjoyed SmackDown tonight. I even found myself enjoying Smooth Braun at the end. I thought that his little bit with Alexa Bliss was pretty solid. Were you into that stuff at all?
To a certain extent, that was a presentation I was expecting. But she carried it. Her performance kind of transcended what could have been a not very effective interview bit.
Yeah.
But especially at the end, when asked about Braun, his statements last week. What is your reaction? And she couldn't even really muster a response because she was fighting back tears. I thought that was pretty good. Smooth Braun was interesting. I was not expecting that.
Yeah.
The bit where he goes off on Alexa was effective, and he was about to throw her out of the ring. Instead, he just launched her into the air.
Yeah, I literally gasped. I might have shrieked a little bit when he actually chucked her up in the air. I really liked that. In fact, so when Braun first showed up and he started, spitting into the camera, number one, I was actually he didn't, Braun is a lot more comfortable these days, and I wonder if it's actually working with Bray Wyatt.
Well, they're not asking him to smile.
Might be helping. What's that?
He might just not like smiling.
Yeah, but I mean, I reference this all the time. When I go back to him and Brock Lesnar a couple of years back versus now, there is a difference. I mean, you've
definitely,
yeah, you've seen it. When he was doing that, I was like, okay, so monstrous Braun is just more kind of like pre-smiling Braun. He's talking about ripping the Fiend limb from limb and then eating him. But then, and so I was like, okay, well, now he's smooth. He's doing that, whatever. But then when Alexa comes out, and you're absolutely right. In that moment, she was carrying the performance. But even his performance from that point on, I thought was so damn good. And I thought him launching her up into this, I thought that was so. And here's the thing, that was most likely an edited segment. WWE has caught some flack, and with good reason, for some of their goofier editing. But him launching her up into the sky, the lights going down because of the Fiend's entrance, and then it coming back up with her selling it, I thought was a masterful bit of editing. It had me in the moment. So I thought it was good. I thought SmackDown oddly felt a little bit long, but I think it's just because they packed so much into it tonight.
They did. There was a little bit of overriding throughout the show. I noticed there were some segues that felt a little forced. The piss joke from AJ's new statistical system, that missed the mark with me. Once I put that together, I was like, oh, really?
Really?
But I mean, the whole thing kind of seemed like a jab at AEW and their rankings anyway. So. Oh,
okay. Yeah, I could see that.
That's what it felt like.
I could see that. That whole bit made me laugh just because of Joseph Park.
I mean, the punchline at the end after when AJ is trying to erase it off the whiteboard.
Was permanent
marker. That was funny. The delivery was good.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. Yeah. Otherwise, let's just hop into it.
Sure.
I got my Steve notes up, and they are out in the Patreon for the patrons and the YouTube channel members and the Twitch subs.
Yes.
So you guys have that.
So this was interesting. So the show kicks off with a recap of Retribution, all that they have done, and then it goes to commentary, and Cole says there's this group called Retribution, and they're hiding behind current events for their wanton destruction. Now, we heard this wasn't supposed to be a political thing.
Oh, I didn't even hear when he said that. Yes. That's funny.
When he said that, I was like, oh, really?
So, wow. Okay. Yeah. There you go. Confirmed. They're Antifa.
Yeah, and then this was funny to me. So they said, so security's watching like every entrance and exit from the performance center, and they cut to a couple of security guys, and they're standing right by that door. Granted, I didn't watch Raw, but I saw the clip of Retribution for some reason throwing 2 cinder blocks through that window, even though the first one broke it. Yeah. They're standing guard at that window. That window's had a rough few months. Of course, that it was involved in the Angelo Dawkins spear through it, and then of course the cinder block last week. So that particular entrance performance center seems like it needs a little bit of a break.
It's got to be a gag at this point, right?
Definitely.
Yeah.
It's a
So yeah, it was kind of silly. They have like the smallest, skinniest guys guarding the place. It really, I'll be honest. So like, I did enjoy SmackDown. I'm still completely not anywhere near being sold on Retribution. They were bigger tonight. They were larger people tonight.
Well, also in like, more. There's more of them.
And there was a lot more of them. I don't care. I think my main problem with Retribution is that it makes the wrestlers look so bad. And I'll tell you why. We opened up with Big E versus John Morrison, right? Big E is trying to continue his moment. He's got about 2 weeks, right, before Kofi's back.
3 maybe.
I wonder if they're going to kayfabe Kobe some more time, Kofi some more time off, because it feels like he's just getting started with this Big E thing. Or maybe, I mean, I like the idea of Big E taking a solo journey, you know, to the top. I like that. I think that, you know, they've made such a big deal about, oh, well, he doesn't have the New Day here to protect him. He doesn't have the numbers thing. Well, if Kofi comes back and is just in his corner, that's cool. I know he said part of his theme is they prop me up, and that's great. But I don't know. I kind of want him to prove that, yeah, I am my own person. I can do it on my own.
Yeah, I get that. Same time, though, how many times has someone that has been in a faction done that exact thing?
Mm-hmm.
You know, not very often. Do we see? I know, with Kofi, it just did kind of happen. That was a different circumstance, I feel like, though. Have someone within a faction gone on the singles run and not split from the faction? It just doesn't happen very often.
Yeah.
And that's just a different aspect of the story that's not told all that much. That I'd like to see them try to do right.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because far too often someone's in a faction. Oh, they're getting a singles push. Guess what? Break them up.
Yeah. Yeah.
They got to be serious now. They got to have a new, you know, like foreboding theme and have new ring gear and all that. And to see if they can get Big E to the main event level while going against that usual trope. I'm curious to see if they can pull that off.
So in his promo prior to the match, they did like a little picture-in-picture thing. He reminded us all that he was an NXT champion and that
and a former Intercontinental champion too.
And a former Intercontinental champion. I won't try to emulate any of his promo. It's amazing. He's great. Just watch it.
He's the absolute best, man.
He really is. He basically, all of his promos these days, he's just delivering the greatest sermons, you know? Like I want to go to church and have this guy be my pastor. Anyways, John Morrison had his own very sweaty promo.
And this was overwritten.
Yeah, I know. And he was like, "Hey, Big E, you going solo run? Is this your own choice? Or are you just doing it because nobody else in the New Day are here?" And then he talks a bunch more, and then he says, "I hope you're hungry for feet, because I'm going to kick my foot down your throat." But he's so sweaty. And then, later on, Sonya Deville was sweating her way through her promo.
Yeah, it must have been very hot. Remember the warehouse area, they don't have air conditioning.
It's probably
very hot and very humid in Florida, of course.
Get those lights on them, yeah.
Yeah, so of course the match begins. As soon as the match starts, basically, the lights start flickering. Like, I want a kayfabe explanation for this. You're supposed to have security everywhere.
Yeah, I know. Oh, I know. That's my main problem. Is that my main issue with Retribution at this point is the goddamn plot holes. Is just the sheer, like, nonsensical way that they're able to do all this stuff. It doesn't make any sense.
No, and here's the thing is also too is when the lights flicker, it's not a hard on off.
I know.
It's not a fader.
Yeah, I know.
Because it goes down and up gradually. It's quickly, but gradually, which means someone's back there just doing this, to the fader or whatever the thing might be, whether it's on the board or something else. And it's like, okay, there's just someone back there doing this. I know that's the case. Explain that.
Yeah.
There's no explanation for it. It looks cheap. It looks lame.
There's so much that's silly about it. From them, trying to make this, like, even in kayfabe, like, how many times have we seen? We've seen cops, like police in the WWE, like, show up to arrest Stone Cold Steve Austin or to arrest, I don't know who they did it last for, but Stephanie McMahon was arrested at one point.
Yeah. Well, the bit with Becky and Charlotte and Ronda Rousey.
Yeah. Like, why wouldn't they call the police out to patrol, in the performance center? Why is it they're not letting their own performance center recruits do something about this? They outnumber Retribution, which is like seemingly Retribution's only advantage is the numbers game. Well, they literally have all their trainees there. There's like 50 of them.
Plus the entire locker room. I know.
Yeah, and none of them, like Booge isn't going to come to the aid of Jesse Kamea last week. It doesn't make a sense. It just makes. And then tonight, this was my biggest problem tonight, or it was one of my biggest problems tonight. So this match had just started. It had just started. I'm not even sure Morrison and Big E had even gotten any offense on each other.
It basically just started, yeah.
So Retribution attacks. They barely do enough to Big E and John Morrison. I'm sorry. They barely execute the same amount of offense that they would have anyways in that match. And yet somehow they were both taken out.
Well, with Big E, someone hit him in the back of the leg with a weapon of some sort. That's why he had it bandaged up in the main.
And what'd they do to Morrison? They like threw him out of the ring against the barricade or something?
Yeah.
How many times does Morrison launch himself into various things throughout a match anyway?
I'm not disagreeing with you. The amount of punishment they doled out was not commiserate with the amount of selling that E or Morrison had to do to make them look strong. That's kind of been the thing with Retribution, though. It's like, hey, we'll have them go out there and do stuff, and it's all going to look ridiculous and silly, cartoonish at times, comical, but everybody's got to sell it like this really sucks for them. Like this hurts. It's rough. And like for me, nothing encapsulates that better than when they tipped over the announce table last week, and they did it as gingerly as possible.
Yeah.
There was no force or violence behind it. It's like, all right, we got to tip this over. Like they're moving a sofa, you know?
Yeah.
There's nothing threatening about it. Same with the chainsaw. Dude's got a chainsaw in the ring, and I laugh. That's not what you want. You want some madman like Leatherface in the ring with chainsaw swinging that thing around, and maybe accidentally cutting the rope because he's so like crazed.
Yeah.
With whatever he's motivated by. It's not what we got.
Yeah.
It's not what we get.
They should have last week. They should have really gingerly took the ring down like they're wrestling students.
Well, like how they would actually do it after the show. Like
exactly. Yeah.
They stick the wrench in the turnbuckle and turn it like that to loosen it up.
Exactly. And the worst was that like right afterwards, 205 Live still happened. they just like changed out the ring rope. Anyways, so
tell me what happened next because I didn't watch it. I didn't catch any of this. My stream died.
Okay, so they all leave. Miz comes down.
I mean, Miz comes down.
He's like cradling Morrison. So then the locker room. So Big E is sort of leading a bit of a locker room. Well, him and Morrison are sort of sitting next to each other because they're like kind of unified in getting their asses beat down by Retribution. Gable's there. I think Lucha House Party's there. Cesaro and Shinsuke are there. So it's a mix of good and bad. Miz is with Morrison, and they're starting to place blame on Big E about like him tweeting about Retribution endlessly throughout the week. Big E starts to Miz and Morrison blame Big E. Baron rolls in with he's got like a suit on, but he still has his crown on and his scepter with him. Yeah. And he's like, hey, you guys lack a true leader. I can be your leader. I'll lead you to safety. And Big E stands up and he's like, no, man, this is our house. I'm not going to let the Foot Clan from the Ninja Turtles run up in our house and put their feet on everything. I'm going to go back out to the ring because Miz and Morrison had just left. He said, I'm not going to let them change anything. I'm going to go back to the ring to beat up John Morrison, which doesn't happen until much later. Yeah. And then before he does that, Sheamus comes in. He's got like a really cool looking jacket. It kind of looked like a really fancy fitted version of the one that Dean Ambrose wore during his when he wore the gas mask too.
Yeah.
He had like on the hat and the taped up wrist hands from the bar fight stuff.
Yeah.
So he rolls in and he just starts endlessly talking about, and it's all about Big E not having the New Day with him. But I remember last week you had mentioned that Sheamus's promo is really long, and I wonder if that's his new thing, just verbose. Like he just talks way too much.
I guess.
So anyways, he's talking a lot, and then and he says, "Yeah, you're a man alone," and Big E says, "No, I'm not," basically, but in much cooler way. And then we're at Sasha and Bayley in the ring. He didn't really miss much.
So they start.
Oh, wait. The funny thing about this, though, is that, like, Baron is there. Sheamus comes. The roles are kind of mixed up, man. So, like, Sheamus is there. He starts talking crap about Shorty G. He starts to go at Sheamus a little bit. And Big E sort of holds him back, and Shorty G, like, hangs back. So, like, in the moment, it felt more like Shorty G was, like... I don't know, that still thing is kind of confusing, but Shorty G's like a heel, but then he was fighting Sheamus again tonight.
That's what I'm telling you, man. It's like when you have stories overlap, it's great if there's an end game and it ends up making sense. This is all kind of convoluted.
Yeah, maybe I shouldn't care. Maybe I shouldn't care because it's like that is one thing I will say about SmackDown tonight is that I used to say with WWE that too often it felt like every storyline existed in a universe of its own, at least tonight. And yes, it was because of Retribution. All of SmackDown really did feel like one living, breathing show. It did, to me anyways. So after that, let's see here. Sasha and Bayley are in the ring, and they're there to introduce the Triple Brand Battle Royal.
And that's when Sasha references the tag match at Payback, yes?
Yeah, and then
So
she throws...
So I guess Payback's not going to be the Raw Underground pay-per-view.
No, sadly not. She does throw some shade at Bayley, though, for losing to Asuka. She's like, yeah, now at SummerSlam, thanks to things that happened recently, we now know that Asuka's going to be challenging me for my title. And Bayley sort of looks down. And she's like, and we just found out we have to defend the tag titles at Payback.
Wow.
Bayley, sporting a Dana Brooks shirt,
Saw that.
says, since we've proven here in the WWE that we do everybody else's job better than anybody, especially commentary, Michael Cole, she says, we're going to do ring announcing too. And they literally throw Greg Hamilton. They're like, get out of here, Greg. And they start kicking him out of the ring.
That's funny.
So that was great. So they start doing some ring announcing. First they announce the Iconics, then Tegan Knox, then Shotzi Blackheart, then Lacey Evans. And then Bayley's looking at her card. She's like, okay, I think I got the wrong card here.
This can't be right.
This can't be right. And then Asuka's music. Oh, I popped so big.
Yeah, it was great.
I popped so big. That was fantastic.
And then she beat the heck out of Sasha and Bayley, sends them out of the ring. And then the rest of the field just kind of wanders out.
We're not going to wait for our ring entrances.
Go to commercial, come back, Battle Royal begins. They kept this one pretty short. They touched on several stories that are going on. Iconics, they narrowly eliminate both Ruby and Liv. Ruby ends up beating the boot from Billie Kay. And then Liv and Shotzi eliminate the Iconics, and then the Iconics pull Liv off the apron. They all brawl ringside before just kind of very casually walking back up the ramp. So developing that story, that's a Raw story there on SmackDown. Good job. Michael Cole very casually says, oh, yeah, we're not going to be at the Performance Center next week. Heard rumors that we could be going somewhere else. Stay tuned for that.
He said we've heard. That's right. He said we've heard rumors, and also we've heard rumors of, because Graves is like, oh yeah, and there might be some fan interaction, digitally speaking, maybe
something like that. Yeah,
he's like not getting our. He's
like
on
his phone looking at PW Insider and Wrestle Vote says he's doing that and trying not to directly source them.
He's like, don't quote me on that specifically, but we might.
But I hear Mike Johnson is saying there might be some interactive element to it.
He's Finn Balor is talking about what Dave Meltzer reported.
So this next bit was great. Super cool. So Tamina eliminates Nikki Cross via super kick, and we get a stare down between her and Bianca Belair.
Dude, Bianca's SmackDown gear looked amazing.
That spear she hit was great. Man. And the glam slam out of the ring to eliminate Tamina,
just
amazing.
Terrific. Just terrific.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So Lacey Evans eliminates Naomi with a woman's right. Shotzi then eliminates Lacey. And then Shayna puts Shotzi in the clutch, puts her on the apron, and then Lacey yanks her Shotzi off the apron to eliminate her. Tegan eliminates Bianca after low bridging her out of the ring. So Tegan, Shayna, and Asuka, the final three, we think. How are Dana Brooks just kind of wandering around ringside?
I'm still in this. I can still win this match. I'm still in the match.
So Tegan goes on a bit of a run. She tries to chokeslam Shayna. Shayna escapes, gut wrenches Tegan. I think she's kind of supposed to toss her over the top rope, kind of lost her balance a little bit.
That was awkward as hell.
It could have been bad. Eventually, though, she does get her on the apron. Dana pulls her off. Tegan is eliminated. Dana gets back in the ring. She does a handspring elbow at Shayna. She catches that, puts her in the clutch, goes for an elimination. Dana escapes, and then Asuka hip attacks Dana off the apron. Asuka and Shayna are the final two. So Shayna sends Asuka out to the apron. Bayley tries to pull her off. Asuka fends that off. She hits a PK on Sasha and Bayley. And after she does that, Shayna clocks her and knocking her off the apron. Asuka lands on Sasha and Bayley.
I marked out so hard. I was like, this is awesome. This is such a well-booked. Good job.
Clever.
I was assuming this is Scrap Iron who booked this. Probably. Who knows? I don't know. Maybe not.
Who knows? I mean, did you see that not only is he booking 205, so is Foley's kid.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
that's awesome. Forgot he's a writer there, huh?
Yeah, Asuka gets back in the ring. Shayna puts her in the clutch, and then Asuka kind of flings her over the top rope to get the win. And of course, Sasha and Bayley, upset, apoplectic, besides themselves. They're not happy about it.
Yeah,
before they verbalize that backstage, we get the first of two Mandy and Sonya recaps.
Mm-hmm.
And then Sasha and Bayley backstage, they're upset that Asuka won. Sasha says, "It's okay, we got this. We both got this." And Bayley says, "Yeah, SummerSlam, I'll actually have something important to fight for."
Yeah.
And then Asuka comes in and destroys him.
Oh, God, that was awesome. That was so great. Nonstop Asuka. I just like, dude, that they're making the Kairi Sane writing her off actually mean something, you know?
Important, yes, I know.
It's important. It's like true motivation. I like it. So Mandy Rose is up next. She talks about, how all her life people have called her fake, a model having had things handed to her, a Barbie doll. That stuff really hurts. She's like, you clown me because you say I was a bikini world champion. She's like, yeah, I was, but I had 3 jobs while I was doing that. She was like, I work super hard and I still work hard. You should know that more than anybody. Blah, blah, blah. Hair versus hair challenge at SummerSlam. Sonya Deville, hopefully she'll look good rocking like a mohawk or something.
Yeah.
Because she's totally losing that.
Yeah, she is. All right, explain this to me. So we're backstage. There's a couple security guards. Sheamus rolls up to him and says, all right, boys, you're off the rest of the night. Retribution isn't showing up on my watch. Mm-hmm. And then as soon as he finishes that sentence, Michael Cole says, Sheamus, in action, next. So did he just go up to 2 security guards, excuse them, when he has a match happening and can't stand guard?
Okay, so not trying to defend WWE's nonsensical booking. I think the point was he's going to be out there at in the ring. And because like earlier in the locker room, he was sort of saying, man, if any of those Retribution guys come up to me, I'm going to take care of them. So maybe his thing is, hey, if they're attacking ringside, that's where I'm going to be. I don't want anybody stopping them to get to me so that I can take care of them. That's how I took it. That's how
they've already found their way into the building. Why relieve the security guards when they might do something?
The reason why I took it that way is because he was in his ring gear, and earlier he was in his jacket.
Yeah,
and I figured if he was just going to stand guard, he'd be in his jacket. But he's like, "Hey,
that's me." I didn't see the other bit, so when I saw it, I thought this doesn't make any sense.
I thought he was just like, "Yeah, bring him on."
Why did he say that then? When he says he ain't showing up on my watch, that makes me feel like he's going to stand guard there.
Yeah, sure. Saying my watch, I can understand that. Sure.
Yeah. Now, if he'd said, all right, guys, go get a beer or something, let's let them in so I could deal with them. Mm-hmm. Then I feel you. I understand that.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how goofy is HBK going to be on Raw Monday night? Because he
11?
was advertised. He is. Oh, Randy Orton.
He's going to make this look. His concerned look.
The greatest of all time. With his big scraggled beard, his eyes going everywhere.
And his Undisputed Era hat.
His Undisputed Era hat, shirt, Zubaz.
Totally. So after that, we have a brief
You're the second greatest of all time behind Adam Cole.
And me, the Heartbreak
Kid.
Heartbreak Kid. Sean. So anyways, Nikki Cross is backstage. She sees Alexa, goes over to her, gives her a hug, apologizes for pushing her and leaving her. And then Bliss is like, it's fine, don't worry about it. And Cross is like, well, what happened? You with the Fiend, what happened? And Bliss is like, I don't want to talk about it. And Cross tries to persist a bit, and Bliss says no. And Cross is like, all right, come with me. And Bliss says, no, I'm staying backstage. I need to get some answers from Braun.
Mm-hmm, yeah. Ooh, dun dun dun. So after that, we had Sheamus versus Shorty G, yeah, my number one, I'm not going to say it's my new number one pet peeve because looking at the ref is always going to be number one during a pin. But saying when somebody turns heel, saying he's had a change in attitude or she's had a change in attitude, I hate that. I hate that so much. It's like, dude, that's not how people are. Oh, man, Larson was a dick to me the other day. He's had a real change in attitude. Nobody says that. Nobody talks like that.
I know. I mean, I didn't get a good night's sleep. Maybe I didn't poop that day. That's a reason I could be in a bad mood.
Yeah, maybe Shorty G didn't poop right that day. Maybe he was trying when Retribution came in.
Yeah, and he heard the commotion, left the commode, never had a chance to follow up on that.
Unfulfilled.
He's harboring unreleased defecation for the rest of the day. That can make one uncomfortable, and I dare I say fairly miserable.
Yeah, exactly. But it's not a change in attitude. Anyways,
Change
Shorty,
of diet might be proposed.
maybe,
but
yeah, he's like less fiber. Shorty G comes out strong.
less fiber.
Yeah, but Sheamus starts. Wait, what?
You said less fiber if you're constipated. You want more fiber if you're constipated.
No, I'm saying he's getting less fiber if he's more constipated.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyways, moving on. Shorty G comes out strong, Larson, but then Sheamus starts back elbowing the crap out of his head,
Yeah.
turns it into mush, dumps him outside, gives him those forearms like he legit had. Sheamus was working really stiff on Shorty G tonight.
Sheamus has been working stiff for how many years? Been wrestling?
You know what I really loved is that they said that Sheamus is on perhaps the biggest role of his career.
This is Damian Priest booking.
Dude, didn't he beat Triple H for the WWE Championship like 10 years ago?
Yeah, I know.
This is not the biggest role of his career.
He beat Daniel Bryan. He beat Daniel Bryan in like 8 seconds.
He just lost a bar fight, which you would think is his thing.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. Damian Priest booking, all the momentum. Sheamus wins, not a surprise. White noise, bro kick for the win. Again, not a huge shock. Chad Gable doesn't win matches anymore.
No, he doesn't.
Then we get a quick shot backstage of AJ Styles arguing with Joseph Park.
Yeah.
Abyss.
This was so awesome.
Graves was talking about some sort of AJ phenomenal statistics system.
And friggin'
something
Joseph
like that.
Park and his facial expressions are just the best. Anyways, so AJ comes out. He's got Joseph Park with him. And a big whiteboard. And he's talking about who should be his next challenger because Daniel Bryan has said, oh, it should be, the fighting champion thing. He promotes his own Twitch stream while he's talking about all
Like he
this.
says, why do I have a fighting champion, but I just want to enjoy being champion. I want to go on Twitch. And he plugs it.
At twitch.tv/Styles Clash.
Oh, man.
He says, when I go on my Twitch stream, he's like, oh, yeah, he points to somebody and cries, you're on my Twitch stream. A bunch of nerds are throwing out statistics at me, telling me this person should challenge me, that person should challenge me because of statistics. I'm tired of statistics. But you know what? I actually like statistics. I'm like a nerd. I'm like the most handsome nerd alive because I love stats. So it's as easy as this. If you're going to go by stats, you got to go by the Phenomenal Intercontinental Stat System. PISS.
It's piss.
It's piss. And the
piss.
crowd starts chanting piss. And he's like, oh, shut up. It's in its early stages.
Yeah, so people have to earn their title shots on merit, AJ says. So he unveils the top of the rankings, power rankings.
Power rank.
AJ's number one. Hardly a surprise.
Let me ask you this. When he did that number one, what in your head did you think was going to be 2 through 5?
AJ Styles.
I thought that he was going to choose a bunch of like jobbers, but he even went further and there was just nobody.
Nobody. He unveiled the rest. Nobody. He said no one earned the right to be in the ring with him. Says, here's the truth. If you work hard, real hard.
Dylan.
There you go. And one day you can make it on that board and face AJ. Jeff Hardy interrupts, comes to the ring, says, I got a ton of respect for you, AJ, but he didn't get a fair chance at the Intercontinental title tournament. It could have been us in the finals. But hey, no dwelling on the past. Could have been the finals with you. No dwelling on the past. Moving on. The IC title is special. Him was the first belt he won. And he says, I know my worth. And AJ versus Jeff Hardy sounds mega cool.
Cool.
Hardy asked for a chance to take him on for the Intercontinental title.
Mm-hmm.
And AJ got all serious and sincere.
Very serious.
Stats aside, I respect you a ton. Admired everything you've gone through. There are a lot of people who want to see them in the ring together. Jeff, you deserve to be on this board. So if you're asking if I want to face Jeff Hardy for the Intercontinental title, hell no. You haven't earned the right to be on the board. This isn't a pity party.
Oof.
Hardy goes after AJ, hits him with a twist of fate, and goes to his whiteboard and writes his name on it.
And then he autographed it. Like he wrote a weird symbol, like the itchweed symbol below it or something.
Yeah.
After that, Cesaro and Shinsuke Nakamura were talking about what Cesaro was asking Shinsuke how you say small in Japanese. And he said chibi. I did not know that. Did you know that?
Yeah, no.
I didn't know that. Anyways, as they're talking about that, Lucha House Party sneak up behind them, and they're like stealing the titles, and they get caught, but then they run away with them. But I found this out, Larson. Just because you steal the titles doesn't make you tag team champions.
That's correct. What do you have to do? You have to win them.
You have to win them. So I was mistaken, just like Crime Time.
Despite what's the old adage, possession is
9/10 of the law.
I don't think that's right.
See, I should have used that in Quizlemania. Crime Time had them. They had them.
If I buy a car and you steal it from me, and you're like, well, I possess it, it's mine. Yeah. Guess what? You're still gonna go to jail.
Yeah. Is there anything that actually applies to, or is that just like a Old Testament thing?
I don't know.
Or like an Old West thing?
I don't know.
Anyways, where are we at here? So after that, AJ Styles backstage being interviewed by Kayla, and
this was great.
what was the meat of what he was saying? I just have AJ tries to erase Jeff Hardy's name, but it was permanent.
Yeah, it was great. So he's asked, "Are you considering Jeff Hardy's challenge?" And AJ says, He doesn't respect me. He doesn't respect the Intercontinental title or analytics. He wants to mess with AJ. He's gonna show Jeff what happens when you step up to him. You get erased, and he takes his hand and tries to erase his name off the whiteboard. He goes, "Ugh, permanent marker."
And then Joseph Park says, "Sorry."
Yeah.
So anyways, up next was a singles match, not a tag match, featuring Shinsuke Nakamura and Gran Metalik. And then, so I have here that Cole mentions they're going to be live with fan interactivity and in a new location.
Okay, they mentioned it twice then.
Okay.
Hold on. Possession is 9/10 of the law is apparently derived from the Scottish expression. Possession is 11 points in the law, and they say there are but 12.
Oh, so in Scotland.
So here's cases, and they mentioned the Hatfield and McCoy feud. So that's current, obviously.
Yeah, right.
Oh, here we go on Wikipedia. The adage is not literally true. Anyways, continue. Sorry.
Metalik. Yeah, all I have here is this match was whatever. Metalik goes up to the ropes. Cesaro distracts. Shinsuke hits a knee strike. Really lazy cover, only gets him 2. He eventually gets an exploder, loads up a Kinshasa, and then Mega Kalisto shows up.
Oh my gosh.
Man, jacked, wearing the most immaculate WrestleMania type attire.
Man.
I was like,
cut.
Dude, I was like, oh man, they got themselves a new third man. Because this guy he did not look like Kalisto.
He was in amazing shape.
Mega Kalisto. Anyways, that distraction, I was distracted too, allowed Gran Metalik to pick up a win over Shinsuke Nakamura with a top rope elbow thing.
Yeah, Daniel Bryan booking prowess at it again. Getting the W for Gran Metalik.
Yeah, he's like, hey, listen, how about we do this? Mega Kalisto.
Kalisto, take 3 months, get jacked, get ripped.
We'll just say it's a shoulder injury.
When you come back, Gran Metalik's going to pick up a W over Nakamura. What do you say?
We're going to do what we can do to get that guy a win. After that, we had just a really long Matt Riddle interview where he looked like he was lost. He was like borderline Damian Priest territory here. He was like, no, man, I don't sweat Retribution, but like Baron Corbin, I got my head in a swivel. And Baron Corbin,
here's the thing too is
else.
So Kayla prefaces is like, okay, something Retribution. Other people that are causing trouble around here for you, especially Baron Corbin. It's like, okay, there's an unnecessary segue there. We hadn't seen Retribution since the beginning of the show.
Yeah,
Matt Riddle's had, I don't believe, any interaction with Retribution.
What do you want me to talk about, Kayla? Retribution, Baron Corbin, Shorty G?
That's why it's easy to get thrown off if someone brings up one thing and transitions to something else, and that's what they really want you to talk about when the first thought in your head is, oh, Retribution, they're paying the butt. Oh, you mean talk about Baron Corbin? Well, he's paying the butt too. I guess it could have been that easy.
Yeah, like pick something. So anyways, Shorty G shows up, and then he, again, just not an economy of words, is like, hey, Matt, I'm sorry. Like, my family, I got to feed them, and so that King's ransom, it really could go a long way, which we never really figured out how much that is. He's like, but that could go a long way, so I apologize. So they bro fist bump, and Matt's like, dude, bro, whenever you want to fight, just let me know. And then Corbin, like, sneak attacks Matt Riddle with a scepter, lays him out, and he says, yeah, thanks. You're great, man. Thanks for the help, Chad.
I knew you'd amount to something.
I knew you'd amount to something, Chad.
All that accomplishes getting Chad Gable in trouble with Matt Riddle.
He's getting his ass kicked again.
Yeah. Probably worse than last time. He got destroyed last time.
I hope he collected his bounty up front.
Well, what do you... So to collect the bounty, you literally have to injure Matt Riddle. That's the idea. That's how you collect the King's ransom.
Take him out.
Take him out. So he hasn't taken out Matt Riddle, so there's no bounty. You can't collect the bounty up front because then you just say, all right, buddy's mine, bye.
Maybe there was like a mini version of the King's ransom. There's like a mini ransom where he's like, hey, so you didn't get the $10,000. I'll give you $50 if you'll just go apologize to him and distract him while I punch him in the back.
And we can do the old bully thing where you lean in, you kneel down on all fours behind him, and I can push him over.
Yeah. How about this? Wait till he's taking a crap and then take a picture of him from over the
Matt Riddle's in the bathroom at the end.
Yeah.
No, there could be a deposit. Like Gable could say, all right, here I declare my intention to go after the King's ransom, but I need a retainer if you want me to follow through on it. All right, here's a couple $100. Yeah. Have at it. Get some supplies if you need them. I don't know what that would be.
Yeah. Go to Staples.
Yeah. And then he gets the rest upon fulfilling the bounty anyways. Speculation that's never going to come to fruition. Anyways, next we had Alexa Bliss's interview. Sit-down thing. I'm happy they didn't have Michael Cole or Corey Graves sitting opposite. It was just somebody off camera, a voice I didn't recognize. So she's asked, how you been? She said, I've been better. She goes over her history and relationship with Braun, how she got to know the real Braun during Mixed Match Challenge. She says he's funny, he's compassionate. They call each other out over their crap. They became best friends. And then the interviewer brings up, well, any romantic feelings? And she's like, I don't know, maybe.
Yeah. Well, he has to, well, here's the thing, dude. She charges a lot of money to find that out. Because that dude spent $450 on a cameo asking her out, and he got a $450 video rejection from Alexa Bliss because she's already seeing somebody. I wonder how that guy felt about all that interview tonight. What's his name? Do you remember his name?
Ryan Cabrera.
Yeah. I wonder if he was watching tonight. He was like, what? She might like that guy? What am I supposed to do about that? I don't know what I'd do. If Lacey was into Braun Strowman and he was into her, I'd be like, okay, well, good luck with that.
Yeah.
I'll be around when you're done with that.
Good luck with smooth Braun.
I guess I'll just be a cuck now.
And then the interviewer asks, "Is that why the Fiend
with smooth Braun?
Is that why the Fiend targeted you?" And she said, "I don't know. You got to ask the Fiend about that." And then she's asked, "What's it like being in the Fiend's presence?" She says, "It's scary and also compelling. And once you interact with him, you can feel his presence." And now she understands the expression "moth to a flame."
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then she's asked about Braun's comments the week prior. And she just tries not to cry. Fade out.
That was really good. That was really good stuff.
Pretty effective.
And it wasn't cheesy Michael Cole sitting there.
That's what I was expecting.
Cheesing it up. So after that, we had Sonya Deville's rebuttal to Mandy Rose. She wasn't reading from a teleprompter here because she's great. And she was really sweaty. She accepted the challenge. Telling you,
it was hot. It was hot.
No air conditioning in that warehouse.
So part of that Sonya Deville promo, they announced that AJ versus Jeff Hardy is happening next week. So, of course, that's going to be some sort of walk finish. Because it was for the Intercontinental Championship, I believe. At least they had the words Intercontinental Championship at the bottom of the frame.
Yeah.
Some sort of walk finish except SummerSlam match, obviously. But, yeah, the Sonya Deville promo, she's great. Amazing. Good stuff. Sadly, she's going to lose.
Yeah, but she's going to look like a total badass.
I know.
Like with her haircut like that, like however she's going to do it, she's great.
She is great.
After that, we had, although like once it might at some point get to like an awkward phase where she's growing it long. Like Bayley's perpetually in that awkward phase.
It's like me when I let my hair grow and it starts getting blocky.
It's exactly what it's going to look like with her.
I hope not. I look in the mirror and I see that. I'm like, oh, I really need to cut my hair. I really need to.
So yeah, after that we had Big E versus Jim Morrison again.
Morrison.
Listen, mother. We had a Miz victim blaming Big E for the Retribution attack.
Big E has his left knee wrapped up from getting hit with a bat or something.
FPOS knee tape.
Yeah, so this match was just a mess. Well, it wasn't the fault of Big E or Morrison.
There was
match
no
a mess.
match to be had here.
So they tried to have a match. And what I saw of it wasn't bad because they gave it a ton of time.
And John Morrison's great, by the way. John Morrison, did you see that bump he took? Like, where he expertly precision, like, went off the rope to the apron to the floor. And I'm like, how does this guy do this stuff?
Reps, man, reps. So anyways, Otis comes down the ringside. He and Miz start arguing.
Okay, let me ask you this. Do you see what I'm saying about Otis these days and his midsection?
No.
His belly is now being tucked in his pants.
Okay.
Not flopping over it.
That's not what your point you were making before. The point you were making before is that he was losing weight.
Because he's losing weight. He's able to do that so it goes straight up.
Last week that wasn't the case.
His midsection is shrinking.
His tummy was, as it has been weeks prior, outside of the trunks.
He's losing weight in his midsection, man.
It's not dramatic enough for me to notice. So anyways, he comes down. He and Miz start arguing. Miz tells him he doesn't deserve the Money in the Bank contract. Oh, the lights start to flicker again. Go to commercial, come back. Smackdown locker room, most of it, circling the ring. Lights flickered some more. Backstage, Retribution's there. They're chasing after Kayla. They tear up the interview set, beat up some refs. One of the Retribution guys just about falls over a table trying to attack Drake. That's when Dijak was there. I think he pinned somebody against the wall. You hear him talk. It's totally Dijak.
Damn it, I missed that part. That's hilarious.
Pretty sure it was Dijak, and he was tall. Jey Uso's back there. He gets beat up. Somebody in the bathroom. They open the door. Ha, close it. Put a chair there. Whoever that is stuck in the bathroom. And then they just tear up the catering area. Tear it up. And what I found funny about this, too, is that Corey Graves is watching this in the monitor. They cut back to him. He's like, I don't even know what room that is.
Yeah.
You work there.
And then they call it, they say it's the locker room area over and over again. So clearly, like, that was a weird line. There was, again, my main problem with this was just they're overthinking it way too much. They're trying to be like, okay, we got security, so they can't. And then they do. And then I don't even know what room that is. And then, like, they're in there. And then, like, how are they supposed, they don't even know what's going on then. They're back there. And then I'm thinking to myself, wait, you're on commentary. You're literally standing next to somebody who could do something. And then they do.
Exactly. Well, Jessica Carr, the ref, comes out and says, oh, they're backstage. Come back.
Oh, that's right. I thought it was Corey Graves that told.
No.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, why wouldn't he have just said, hey?
Yeah, you see on the monitor as soon as you see it happen, hey, get back there.
Mm-hmm.
Now. I know it's a little thing because you can make the connection, but really, how hard is it to get one shot of Retribution, like running over, not with the car literally, but running through those two security people that are guarding a door?
Yeah, I know.
You know,
show it exactly. Yeah,
show it.
I don't disagree.
Anyway, so
I did like Michael Cole giving Miz shit for not going back there, though. That was pretty funny.
Yeah, that was funny. So Jessica Carr comes out, says locker room, go back there. They're here. Match carries on. The talent get backstage, survey the damage, go back to the ring. Big E hits an Uranagi, gets a 2, goes for a big ending. Morrison escapes, goes after Big E's knee. Big E avoids a penalty kick, rolls up Morrison. Morrison kicks out, but as soon as he kicks out, right into the stretch muffler. Mm-hmm. Morrison taps.
And I like that Miz at that point, when Miz got into, like, when he started to get, like, when Big E started to get Miz in the stretch muffler, Miz said, oh, that's the parkour I'm talking about. And then he starts tapping, and Miz is like, oh, no. That was pretty funny stuff.
That was pretty funny.
Miz makes me laugh.
So,
have you watched any of that water sports show of his?
No.
Cannonball?
No.
It's fun stuff.
I'm sure it is.
You know, it's like people.
I watch Wipeout. I know what the format is.
Like nothing will ever be MXC.
Obviously,
nothing will ever be that. But I'll always laugh at people eating shit on those challenge shows. It's so funny.
I've seen Wipeout. I assume it's pretty much the same thing.
MXC is great.
Anyways, Big E rolls out of the ring. Sheamus runs down. Bro kicks him.
Yeah, boy.
And then as soon as that happens, cue Smooth Braun's music. He comes to the ring.
Smooth Braun.
And we go to commercial. We come back. Braun's got some words.
Yeah. And he talks about, I mentioned this earlier, he's like, when we meet at SummerSlam, I'm going to get a steak knife and some barbecue sauce. I'm going to eat your entrails. Then I'm going to poop them out. He just talked about, like, what he's going to dismember the Fiend.
He's going to dismember the Fiend.
Limb from limb and eat your entrails. And then he's like, so get out here. And then, it's Alexa Bliss. He looks annoyed. And she's like, "Hey, we got to have a conversation."
He won't even look at her.
Yeah, it was great. And he's like, "You picked the wrong time to have a conversation." And she's like, "This is not the Braun I know. We've been friends for years. What's going on with you?" He's like, he says, "You used me. You wanted to turn me into a clown singing songs in your stupid car." He said, "Let me spell it out for you. Everyone," this was great because he just gave the entire theme of the Fiend away. "Everyone who comes in contact with the Fiend changes, including you." So it does kind of feel like Braun is doing this. This is what I like about it, man, is that number one, they use all that mixed match challenge stuff. I know WWE, they have such a long history and the superstars are around for so long these days that like inevitably their paths are going to cross again. Mm-hmm. It's always a delight when that happens. Like whenever The Miz has to mix it up with Daniel Bryan, it's like, oh, now they can talk about their history.
Yeah, exactly. It's cool when it happens and they actively reference it, definitely.
Yeah. It's because sometimes they will just actively forget about it.
Definitely.
But yeah, they made a point of this.
And during Alexa's interview, they cut in B-roll of mixed match challenge stuff too, as she was talking about it. So
yeah. And you would think maybe at this point Braun is using her as bait, but also to a degree trying to protect her. Mm-hmm. And then he just picks her up because he's like,
hold on. Before that, he says, get out of my ring. Mm-hmm. He wants the Fiend. Bliss says, okay, but be careful what you wish for. If I can't talk some sense into you, I'll have to slap some into you. And she says, look at me when I'm talking to you. And then she starts slapping the shit out of him.
Dude, she screamed at him. This performance was so good. It was really good. And this turns into a Russian slap contest, man.
Basically.
She just starts like slapping his face left and right.
Slaps the shit out of him. He smiles through all that, picks her up, overhead, military press, and the lights start to come down a little bit. You're like, oh, Retribution. Oh, no, you get the sound effects as Fiend. And Braun, with Alexa over his head, starts screaming for the Fiend. And he acts like he's about to throw Alexa from the ring, and the lights come down again a little bit more. And then so he stops and just pushes her up, launches her in the air. Lights come down all the way. They come back up. Red light, Fiend in the ring, Bliss selling that spot. Braun nowhere to be found. Until he's in the Titantron. He's in the Tron.
Yeah.
And he's laughing. And the Bray starts laughing back. And then Braun screams, and that's how the show ends.
So Braun has essentially lost Alexa Bliss to the Fiend. And so now he's just using her as bait because like he kept on threatening to throw her, but he realizes that the Fiend took her for like 2 weeks. And they have some sort of connection. We saw that last week when she was like caressing the Fiend's face. We saw it a little bit in the interview tonight when she was talking about the Moth to a Flame stuff. So yeah, Braun is laughing on the Tron. Fiend laughs too. Then Braun yells, "Grrr!" And then Fiend sticks his tongue out and goes, "Meh."
Yeah, I know.
He said, "You can hear him. You can hear him go."
Hip Hop Hippo says, "I really think there is a low key double turn."
Yeah. I don't know, man. I really like it. I think it's well thought out. This Bray, I really think that Bray is trying his damnedest, not just to get the Fiend over, but to get Braun over again, because smiling Braun is a bad move.
Yeah.
Anyways, I got a Patreon thread up here for some questions, so we might as well just go ahead and...
Sure, I'll do same here on Twitch.
Okay. You go ahead, because this is still giving me the buffering sign.
Gareth Nicholas, Styles Statistics. What does AJ Styles think of going in Raw Math? Well, he's 10 across the board.
Yeah, he would give himself a 10. He would be the perfect wrestler.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to load this up on my phone because it's not working.
Yeah, Patreon's been kind of weird today.
It's been weird for a couple of weeks now. It's kind of irritating.
Yeah, Ryan K. Lamb. Will Vince end up enjoying Joseph Park enough to have him in a similar regular TV role, a la MVP?
He should. He totally should. At the very least, he should be accompanying AJ to the ring these days. Because it's great. Let's see here.
White Brownie says, Steve, check out Randy Orton's recent Instagram post. Was Patreon not working on your phone either?
No, it's working on my phone. Wolfpack for life. How does either Braun or the Fiend lose at SummerSlam without looking too weak and in turn losing the monster feel to them? I don't know, but I kind of have faith in Bray. I know like the swamp match wasn't all it was cracked up to be, but it was sort of there to serve a purpose. So I got faith in that.
So he's got a couple action figures, one of himself and one of Drew McIntyre, and he hits Drew, the toy. Randy, toy, hits Drew with the RKO, and he gets a little WB title and puts over his own shoulder. It's pretty great.
He's on a plane too. He's sitting. He's on a. I think he's on a plane right now doing.
Or is it his bus?
Oh wait. Oh, never mind. That he might be at home. He just did an over the shoulder thing. That's funny. Yeah, maybe. But there's like a lamp behind him though.
Yeah, there's some blinds too.
That could be. That might be a bus, depending on how good his bus is.
I'm guessing it's probably pretty good.
Yeah, I don't know.
That might be his house.
Yeah, that's probably his house.
Fear and Loathing over under 20 minutes on Vince laughing at the first suggestion for AJ's piss system. Oh, that was probably his idea.
He loved it. Let's see here.
Oh, this is good. Fear and Loathing. Braun lost his hair and ability to look people in the eyes when he speaks to them. Describe what changes would happen to your Going in Raw partner if they fought the Fiend.
So with you, it would be crippling sudden diarrhea attacks.
I thought you said something about changes.
Oh. You'd be the brightest ray of sunshine every day.
There you go. You'd be the most miserable SOB that ever walked this earth.
I guess so.
Just wrecked by anxiety.
Yeah.
Self-doubt.
Yeah. Wouldn't want to do anything.
Nope.
By the way, who just dropped what is this? Oh wow, Psycho with all the subs. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
That was very nice. Church Jackson said, is Sheamus's new gimmick dock worker who is his new gimmick dock worker who fought his coworkers for beer money? Yeah, he kind of looked like that. He had the hat on again from the fight. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Jorge D in honor of Smooth Braun, which current wrestler looked great clean shaven, and vice versa. It's been a while since we've seen Sheamus without a beard.
Yeah. No, I actually thought the same thing with Sheamus. Like, he should just shave his head and do a normal beard. Crap, I just had somebody. I don't know about shaving the beard, but a bald Bray Wyatt could be interesting.
That could be interesting.
Patrick Sparks, who's the first person to get accidentally unmasked in Retribution? It's going to be Dijak.
Oh, every week I think about that. Every week. It's going to be like a Shockmaster thing where they scramble to put their mask back on.
Him or Bivens, right?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Durable AC, do you guys think that having Asuka in both title matches, and if she wins, not building new stars, they could have had Tegan Nox go for the match, but chose this route? This is a story they want to tell. Once Asuka wins both the titles, then there'll be a lot of people coming after her. So at that point, you can start building up. This is all about building Asuka to what really she should have been when she got called up.
Pretty much.
Which is the most, basically the most dominant force in the WWE's women's division.
Let's see here. Blake Whitehouse, the Sonya and Mandy feud is making SmackDown must see for me. What's one feud you thought would suck, but turned out to be pretty damn good? Well, this one, the one you're talking about, Mandy, Sonya, Otis, Dolph. I'll be honest, when Dolph first showed up with the Drew McIntyre thing, I had no desire, but I was into it, man.
He had two really good matches.
I was into it.
Solus, given that we have a storyline with Braun, Fiend, and Alexa, do you think this will spiral outwards to affect Nikki Cross? Reason I ask, because Nikki's former heel persona was a bit unhinged herself. I wonder if that would impact her.
I hope so.
Obviously.
I think it'd be rad. I think it'd be great if it just infects everybody like a disease. That'd be great. And then John Cena has to return from the Phantom Zone.
There you go.
Or Roman.
Gus Bricker, any chance that Sonya wins and Otis gives Sonya the Money in the Bank briefcase so Mandy doesn't get her head shaved?
What a great twist. That's a great idea. That's a really good idea. It's not going to happen, but I would love that.
I think that'd be really good.
Here's my briefcase for my Peach's hair. She's my Peach. Let's see here. Timothy Lemieux says, did I miss something? How long has Abyss been in the WWE?
He's been a producer for a little while.
A little while, yeah. Oh, this is a good one. Glorious Broken Soundwave. Who's on your Mount Rushmore of tag teams?
Good question.
Young Bucks, Harlem Heat, probably Legion of Doom, and Enzo and Cass.
I agree with the first two. Young Bucks, Harlem Heat, Dudleys.
Oh, take Enzo and Cass off. Put the Outsiders there.
And then Dudes with Attitude.
Oh, wait, no. Take the Outsiders out. Put the Insiders in. Give me DDP and Nash.
There you go. Night by Night. What do you think the plan is for Bliss moving forward? Does she stay in this feud until it resolves? And if so, how does she come out of it?
Oh, she's a big part of this thing, man. I don't know. Maybe she'll go back to being a heel or not. I don't know, but I like it. Oh, yeah, I like it.
This is a good question from Austin. Do you think this Retribution storyline is what they were originally going to do with Undisputed Era in the big invasion angle? We'd heard that they had some huge storyline planned for the summer that they decided not to do given Empty Arena Era. So do you think this might be some shadow of that storyline they were kind of bouncing around?
It's definitely a possibility, for sure. Or maybe this was supposed to be the big deal.
It could be,
and it'll still be, because obviously, like, there were bigger people, like you said, Dijak was probably there tonight. Maybe Ciampa's in it. You know, I don't know. I still think I guess there's a way they can salvage it, but it's just off to a really bad start.
Yeah, I know. Dr. Steve Winter says there's questions on the Discord.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Dr. Steve. Dr. Steve.
Lando says, I feel optimistic on Adam Cole versus Pat McAfee. Pat's an athletic guy and seems all in on this match. Adam Cole can have a great match with anyone. How do you guys feel on this match? Potential to be decent?
I think it'll be fine. I think that it probably should have been reserved for NXT TV and not a takeover. Yes. Takeovers those are the ones that are supposed to be getting those 5-star matches, man. I don't think it really deserves anything more than an NXT main event. Let's see here. Dr. Steve Winters. Can you book a decent Otis cash-in? Not right now. Not right now. Not where the Universal title is now. I can't.
No.
It'd have to be a tag team cash-in.
It's gonna be, it's gonna be a stumble into a thing like he won the briefcase, man.
Yeah. I don't know what they're gonna do with Otis. I really don't. That Money in the Bank is just, I don't know. Let's see here.
Hugh Longheavy, how long until Retribution outnumbers the NWO in members? They might have done that tonight.
Didn't it already do that tonight?
Yeah.
Sean O.C., at least at one point. Sean O.C., what is the next bold prediction from No Steve Damas? My next prediction is...
well, you already gotten 2 wrong just during the course of the show. So
what did I get wrong?
That I was going to be all cheerful and stuff, and I wasn't. And then you said I would be miserable, and then I wasn't.
Wouldn't it be sad if I had like an opportunity to actually tell one thing in the future, and that was the only thing I got? Of one moment on SmackDown. I could have like predicted lottery numbers.
Fear and Loathing, Otis cash in. He cashes in on the title minutes before the year expires. Raven says, let's be honest, Otis winning Money in the Bank was 100% the wrong decision.
Certainly seems that way at this point, doesn't it? Let's see here. Willie Powerbottom. 3 years ago, we would have loved a Bray versus Braun feud for the Universal title, but it's been meh. Oh, I don't know. I've really liked it, to be honest. Like,
there's been some good stuff.
There has been some good stuff. He says, what story do you think WWE will ruin in the next couple of years? Oh, I don't know.
Asian Murr says, look behind you, Steve. It was the right decision as far as Otis winning Money in the Bank.
It's hard to argue with that. Look, personally speaking, Yes, it was a magnificent moment for me, but boy, that was like an all-time moment. What's this? AJ had it and lost it, and it was just God. That was like the best title win of all time.
The worst.
Either that or Goldberg losing to Braun. Wow.
That's a good question. Mr. Forbesy, power rank who you would pop for if they're in the digital crowd next week.
The Enforcer.
Oh, yeah. Caljak.
Caljak. Shaq. Adam Pacitti. Like me. I always actually felt kind of bad because there was that one pay-per-view where we were like second row.
Fourth row, but yeah, it was
fourth
great.
row. And like everybody just kept on saying, I can't watch this thing because you guys are just there.
That was a lot of fun sitting that close, though.
It was a lot of fun, but I felt bad for like the friendos. They were like, it's just you guys. So distracting. They're giant heads.
That's an interesting question from Schnauzer. With WWE moving into a larger venue next week, I just lost it. Is that enough to entice talent like Roman, Sammy, and Brian to come back, or will they be gone even longer? I don't think their objection was working at the Performance Center. I think their objection was the virus going around. So until that's taken care of, I have a hard time believing they will probably come back until they feel comfortable enough with whatever measures WWE have in place to prevent the spread.
Rain Trigger, if a payphone was ringing, would you answer it?
No. I'd be more shocked there was a payphone nearby.
Well, that's part of the premise of his question that I left out. Imagine they're still relevant today. Yeah, I would.
No, I saw the movie with Colin Farrell.
That's
the premise.
Yeah. I don't know if that's a documentary though, dude.
Because he was stuck in that phone booth for 2 hours. Keith Sutherland threatened to kill him if he got out.
I would dive. I would make a run for it. I would hella dive. And then finally, Brendan says, whose entrance will benefit most from moving to the Amway Center?
Who needs the spectacle, the pyro, all that?
You think there's any chance Braun's going to want to come back now that they're Amway? It depends on what it's going to look like. If it's going to look like they're in just a bigger black abyss.
I know. I know.
Edge when he comes back. People are saying Edge. Yeah, the Fiend.
Yeah, maybe.
The Fiend's a good answer.
Yeah.
You could do a lot with that space with the Fiend.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, yeah. It'd be cool to see if they do NXT there, carrying crosses.
Carrying crosses, yeah. It'd be interesting to see how they utilize it. They do have 2,500 square feet of LED board around the ring, how they utilize that for entrances.
Yeah, no kidding. Like, you could theoretically do, like, filters on the crowd faces, like put Fiend masks on them and stuff.
Or just, use all that space to do something visually in relation to the entrance and not necessarily show, the fans watching at home for that stretch of time.
Mm-hmm. Oh, man. Anyways, that's it for... Oh, wait, hold on. I think we got a couple more on the Discord here. Let's see here. Alex Foster, what are the things besides hair should be wagered in matches? He says somebody's car. That's a good one.
Life savings.
yeah, 401k. Your retirement. Brian Luckman. So if Otis doesn't cash in at all and loses the briefcase to someone else, who does he lose it to and when? He should just keep it. He just years down the line, it's like the one thing he did.
He's aging some stakes in there, so
yeah,
he's in no hurry to cash it in.
Exactly. Let's see here. Who should N Shive says who should Joseph Park manage?
I mean, the pairing with AJ is pretty good.
The pairing with AJ is great. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. Butts asks if you could bring in Abyss for one match, who would it be against?
I mean, ideally it'd be McFoley, but Foley can't wrestle.
I guess these days it'd be like the Fiend or somebody supernatural like that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oscar has an Instagram post from WWE. Says, I'm pretty sure this is Chelsea Green. Yeah, that's totally Chelsea
Green. Yeah. That
100%.
was Chelsea.
Oh, wow. Oh, yeah, I didn't notice this. Well, I'm not going to source it because it's a place that we're not into. But somebody, the Essential Simster here, noted that SmackDown was TV 14 this week.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
Yeah. Interesting.
Oh,
Anyways.
probably because of the piss bit.
You think it was the piss, or was it the Alexa Bliss stuff being too like extreme?
Oh, I don't know.
Like
person got locked in the bathroom.
Here's the thing: if they didn't do it for Jeff Hardy throwing piss at Sheamus, then I don't think they would have done it for the reference. But maybe, you never know. I don't know. Maybe I think it's just probably too scary.
Maybe.
And then Art Fracture here in chat just says, Alexa, piss. And on that, we're going to leave you. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We appreciate it. Or it says, yeah, or the quick flash of the guy taking a dump.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Until next time, we'll talk to you later.
Goodbye.
Be a part of the best pro wrestling podcast today at patreon.com/Steve and Larson. Enjoy tons of bonus videos, including patron-only live shows, gameplay, and vintage 10 for the wins, access to podcast question threads, the Friendo Care Package, and so much more. Support Going In Raw today at patreon.com/Steve and Larson.